Okay, for a different perspective on this announcement, I spoke earlier with David O'Sullivan. He is the European Union's ambassador to the United States. David O'Sullivan, the EU has already said it does plan to retaliate against these American tariffs. Are you aiming to hit America politically or economically with the tariffs that you choose to impose on American imports to the EU?
Well, our position is that we consider the imposition of tariffs on our steel and aluminium exports illegal under WTO laws. We think they're unjustified. Our exports are not posing a problem either to national security or even to the American economy. And under the WTO rules, we are entitled to impose rebalancing tariffs on an equivalent volume of trade from the United States to Europe. And that is the option that we intend to use in order to use the means available to us to demonstrate our unhappiness with this decision and to ensure that we defend European interests.
Right, but the things that you've talked about hitting, bourbon, Levi's, orange juice from Florida, all come from states that are politically sensitive in the United States. Is that the aim here?
Well, it's a much longer list than that, actually. When you look at it, those are the ones that I think people have kind of jumped on as having a certain symbolism. I think the main driving force is to hit things which are not indispensable to the manufacturing process in Europe. So that is why these products have been selected, and it is intended to send a message that we believe the WTO rules need to be enforced and respected, and when they are broken, we will use our rights under those rules to protect our interests.
You've spent months negotiating with the White House to try to get an exemption from these tariffs. How disappointed are you? We're
extremely disappointed. I mean, Cecilia Malmström has been in extensive conversations with Secretary Wilbur Ross, and I think both sides have tried to reach an agreement. We put an emphasis on a positive agenda of working together to improve and expand trade between us, whether that's in the area of liquid natural gas and the energy sector, in improving norms and standards between us, or indeed the possibility of opening a negotiation for a limited tariff deal which would focus mainly on industrial products and procurement. But it has not proven possible to find an agreement because the administration still insists that there has to be some reduction on steel and aluminium exports before this can be agreed. So we're very disappointed.
Ambassador, do you understand why the White House is doing this? And we know that, I heard it during the campaign, American steelworkers are not happy with Chinese steel dumping in the United States. But why is the administration hitting key allies like this?
Well, you'd honestly have to address that question to the administration. I mean, I get the general message that this administration was elected on a platform of trying to rebalance American trade, which they feel sometimes faces unfair barriers across the world. We don't think that's the case in Europe, but America is a partner and an ally, and we're more than anxious to sit down and discuss problems and try to find solutions. But in this particular case, we believe that accusing European exports of steel and aluminium as being a threat to American national security simply doesn't stand up to analysis, and we fear this is a disguised form of protectionism designed purely to protect the domestic industry from legitimate competition.
A partner and an ally. But this doesn't help, does it? It doesn't help relations across the Atlantic.
It doesn't help relations, but the relationship is big and broad, and it will continue to be the most important relationship for Europe, the friendship and alliance with America. I believe it's still the case for America.
But it's not easy, is it? This doesn't make it easier.
It doesn't make it easy, but you always have to put a certain perspective, even on things like this.
David O'Sullivan, thanks very much for coming in.